That event, yeah, keep in mind it's still going to be triple digits at 7 o'clock. We'll stay in the 90s through the 10 o'clock hour. And I've been trying to showcase some of the businesses that will be out there. We have Uncle's Smokehouse Barbecue. If you are looking for some barbecue, just skip dinner tonight because Village Fest has got you covered. And Tacan Tato, where they have different types of tacos there. So that's on the way for later on this evening. Here's a look at your Comfy 3-day forecast. So we'll stay below 110 degrees, then temperature really start to ramp up as we get the second half of our weekend. We'll break down more you can expect in that full forecast coming up.
All right, Chloe, thank you for that. Turning to some more local news this evening. Tonight, one Palm Springs Short Fest director and actor is speaking to us about the importance of this festival for creatives. Let's go to Brett Rosen joining us live from the festival tonight in Palm Springs with more on this story. Hey, Brett.
Mark, I'm inside the festival theaters here in Palm Springs, where it's the 31st annual Palm Springs International Short Fest. Here with me, I actually have the director, Vidang Sharma, and we were talking a little earlier. Her debut for your short film, Kuchar the Itch, just premiered a couple hours ago. Can you talk to me a little bit about what it means to finally have your piece out there?
Yeah, I think it was really special because this was our world premiere. And I think I'm not just representing my team, but I'm representing independent cinema back at home in our country, in India. And the scenario there is pretty bad in terms of, filmmakers are not really getting the opportunities to make a lot of films right now. The business is not doing as well as it was doing a few years ago. So this really felt like, a personal victory, like not just for our film, but like for filmmakers back at home. So I'm representing all of them, and it felt special that like the audience didn't only understand, but they appreciated, and like they got the context and the nuances. And like I love the demographic of this festival. Like I love that you have like young energy, you have like older, wiser people, you have people like of all sorts, all kinds coming together, and like that the energy is like palpable. So I think it was a very special screening for us. Yeah.
No, and there on your screen, you're going to see some behind-the-scenes photos of this short film. And can you talk to me a little bit about what goes into creating a short film like this?
Honestly, people sometimes undermine it, but short films require, if not as much, then like right about the same kind of manpower, because the production value of like, especially all the shots here, even in this festival, is like so high. You need like each person designated is performing such an important role to kind of, put together the like, the story that you visualized, the voice that you want to represent out there. You can't really do it without those people. Like even on our film, we had like a crew of like almost 60 people, and a lot of people discount that, but I think short films also require that kind of manpower because each effort counts.
There you go. Well, there you go. The Palm Springs International Short Fest here in Palm Springs, giving creators a chance like no other. I'm Brett Rosen for NBC Palm Springs, sending it back to you guys in studio.
Thank you, Brett. And we're turning to another red carpet experience tonight, this time for local elementary and middle school students as they screened their very own films in the Young Creators Program. Our Alondra Campos joining us in studio tonight to tell us more about it. Hey, Alondra.
That's right, Olivia. It looked and felt like a scene straight out of Hollywood. Flashing cameras, a red carpet, and a theater packed with moviegoers. But this was not Los Angeles. It was the Mary Pickford Theater in Cathedral City, where Palm Springs Unified School students had the opportunity to see their very own work on the big screen. The spotlight was on hundreds of young filmmakers at this year's Young Creators Student Film Program Festival in Cathedral City. Now in its second year, the festival is the brainchild of Christian Sesma, a local film director, and his wife, Lillian. Their mission? To inspire kids to tell their stories through film.
I think the unique thing with this program, it's a true filmmaking program. So filmmaking is a collaborative team effort. So it's 30 students in one class working towards one script, the way we do in Hollywood. So we're teaching them, like we say, we're a Hollywood certified film school program, and we're showing them the actual way we shoot movies in Hollywood. Same process, just like the 101, like the basics.
Over the course of just 3 weeks, 600 students from 4th to 8th grade worked in teams to write, film, and edit their own original short films. The result? 33 unique stories, all screened at one of the desert's most iconic theaters.
The kids were really excited. Our first year, they walked in there not knowing what they were doing, and we just saw them just light up and really like find a passion.
Sesma knows a thing or two about storytelling. As a professional filmmaker and Coachella Valley native, he returned to his hometown to lead this program, helping students turn ideas into films.
Really seeing them come into their own, exploring the filmmaking process, coming out of their shell, expressing themselves, forming friendships with people that I didn't even know. It's very powerful. I think, again, this is something that we experience on set all the time.
Participating students were able to take on different roles within their groups and explore new interests while making lasting connections.
A lot of us made new friends, and we decided to talk about how to start it, and we had to take a lot of replays.
I feel nervous but also excited about the experience that I got to do, and I can't wait to see my face on the screen because I'm one of the actors of the theater, and I just can't wait to see how it turned out.
And it wasn't just the kids beaming with pride. This year's special guest was Louis Tan, a real-life action star from the Netflix series Cobra Kai, Deadpool 2, and Mortal Kombat, who shared advice with the filmmakers of the future. The program director, Christian Sesma, tells us he hopes to continue this young filmmaker program for generations to come, giving more students the opportunity to explore who they are and who they might become. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Alondra Campos.
Alondra, thank you for that. More than 12 local groups getting a big boost from Cathedral City. Nearly $90,000 in grant funding is being handed out to support the arts and community services. From senior centers to youth programs, even a film group, the money will help make a difference. City leaders say it's all about investing in creativity and care for the people who call this place home.
Well, for the past 2 years, the Latinas Mujeres Club of Desert Hot Springs has held events like Fiesta Latina, Valentine's Day, and Father's Day dances, all to raise money for scholarships that help Desert Hot Springs students. Altogether, they've raised more than $20,000. But they tell us those efforts have been impacted. Recently, one of their events was canceled due to the presence of ICE and immigration officials in the community.
We know that we cannot have events in the community because of what is happening, and that people cannot support our events. So I think that what we're going to be doing, we have to think outside the box. And I think we have to come up with other ideas.
Right now, the club says they're still planning ways to continue fundraising for next school year and family events for the community. And new at 6 o'clock tonight, the 4th of July is happening next week. And while it may be fun for us, it can be frightening for our pets. Each year, shelters see a spike in lost animals.
Now, to prevent that, Riverside County Animal Services is offering free microchips and vaccines to protect your pet this holiday. Here's Kai Beach.
4th of July is one of our most common days for pets to go missing, especially due to the fireworks, the barbecues, the chaos. So please protect your pet. Hi, I'm Marlo Klingman, manager at the Coachella Valley Animal Campus for Riverside County Department of Animal Services. To help address the problem of pets going missing during July 4th, we're hosting a free microchipping and vaccine event on Sunday, June 29th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So you can come by and get your pet microchipped, vaccinated, and get a free custom engraved ID tag, all free to Riverside County residents. And it's all happening at Coachella Valley Animal Campus in Thousand Palms. So come on by, we're very excited to help you. For more information, visit rcdas.org. Please help us help you and help our community keep our pets safe and in their homes. Our shelters are overcrowded, so it's extremely important that we can quickly reunite owned pets with their families who are looking for them.
The sights and sounds from our Kai Beach tonight. Coming up next here on NBC Palm Springs at 6, a major pharmacy group is ending its coverage of a popular weight loss drug. We've got the details coming up.
And we have a look at your gold and silver prices on this Thursday evening, inching closer to the weekend. Stay with us. More stories right after the break. Welcome back. A major pharmacy group is ending its coverage of a popular weight loss drug.
It's one of several changes shifting the way that people fill their prescriptions. Linda Beccaro tonight has some options that could save you some money.
Consumers can weigh lots of new options for managing the cost of GLP-1 medications for weight loss. Manufacturers now offering price drops, like this deal from Wegovy. The first month for $1.99, then $4.99 after. Eric Levin is CEO and co-founder of a pharmacy navigator site called Scripta Insights.
Manufacturers, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk, the two major manufacturers of Zepbound and Wegovy, have decided that they will sell directly to consumers, which is a whole new development. And interestingly, they actually have the best pricing.
And if you skip the auto-injector pen and opt for a syringe, you can also save money.
Sounds like it would be really difficult. These are very small needles. They're relatively easy to use, and you will save a lot of money if you're willing to do that.
CVS Caremark will drop coverage of Zepbound effective July 1st. So what are your options?
Option one is switch to Wegovy, which is now their preferred paid-for drug.
Of course, always speak to your doctor before making any changes. Scripta Insights, which is offered as a benefit from employers, has a navigator tool for comparing GLP-1s and costs. Levin says even with insurance, you might be able to add $25 manufacturer coupons or get discounts from places like GoodRx or Cost Plus Drugs.
Keep in mind that if you do change your medication, your dosage will change as well.
You'll have to go back down to the starter dose of 2.5 and build back up.
Consumers in Midtown have mixed reaction to the increasing use of these drugs to drop pounds and their dropping cost.
I think it's going to be a great catalyst for people to focus on their health and improve their quality of life, as well as change their eating habits.
The whole idea of it seems a little dangerous to me, but it seems to be that people would rather take a pill than make lifestyle changes.
That was Linda Beccaro reporting tonight. The U.S. Supreme Court is preparing to release 6 final opinions on some of the biggest cases of the year on the final day of its term. Friday, the justices will deliver rulings on President Trump's plan to end birthright citizenship, LGBTQ books in schools, access to porn sites, and more. The justices are also expected to make a decision on a government task force's health care recommendations and First Amendment rights as well.
Right, on this Thursday evening, we are giving you a live look from our Indian Wells Golf Resort camera. Chloe Carlson standing by with that end-of-week forecast and a sneak peek of what we can expect for the 4th of July celebrations. That's when we come right back.
happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome back. Right now, we're taking a live look at the Walter Clark Highway 11 cam in Rancho Mirage. Those clear blue skies are back. Oh, they've been here for a while. I don't know, last time we had cloudy skies. It's been a minute. A little bit of that cloud cover at the coast. So there you go. 104 for the high today. So we were just below seasonal for this time of year. 106 is normal for us. That is something that is going to change as we get into our Friday and the weekend. We're talking about that warming trend. So we'll get well above average as we get into this weekend. 105 right now in Palm Springs, 98 in Desert Hot Springs, will be 70s for those overnight conditions. So as I mentioned, Friday will be slightly above average, 107 to 111, hot and dry conditions, and then temperatures really start to ramp up as we get into the weekend. So why? We have this ridge of high pressure that is building over the southwest region. It's going to park itself over the Four Corners. So a little bit of that is going to bring up that monsoonal moisture right now, looking to stay to the east of us, but we could see a little bit more of those humid conditions as we get into late next week. So very warm and hot conditions, clear conditions though for us. So that is good news when it comes to the holiday. July 4th, it's going to be 97 degrees as we celebrate those fireworks at 9 p.m. And like I said, clear skies for us. That makes the viewing conditions for us here on the West Coast great. For those that are in my home state of Colorado, not so much. They have a storm moving through on the 4th. So unfortunately for them, a little bit of a concern as far as those fireworks, but not to worry for us here in the Coachella Valley. Here's a good covered air 70 forecast. So we'll stay below 110 degrees through Saturday. We are 111 by Sunday.
The NBC Palm Springs Sports Desk with Tim O'Brien. Brought to you by Agua Caliente Casinos.
Oh, welcome back. Triple-digit temps, hamburgers and hot dogs, a cold beer, and some baseball. That's a trio, quadruple. Yeah, you get the point. They'll stay together forever here in the Valley. The Palm Springs Power continue their winning ways, entering the season as back-to-back league champions. The Power sit at 15-3 with a 5-3 record in the CPCL. New Power utility man KJ Moon leads the league in homers with 3, finishing his freshman season at Mercer. Came here to the Valley and started hitting the long ball. The first-year player brings versatility to manager Casey Dill's team. Trevor Eby leads the league in wins, going 3-0 so far this season, and the team overall leads the league in team ERA with a 2.76. And good news, we also know that it's NBC Palm Springs night Friday, July 11th, first pitch at 7. Olivia Sandusky already stretching the wing, getting ready to toss that first pitch. And dreams will come true later this week at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. The NHL Draft will host the future stars of the league. Now the Kraken drafting 8th overall. Why is that relevant, you ask? Well, the good thing is I've got an answer. The draftee will play here in the Coachella Valley in just a few short years. You've got guys like Jagger Firkus there. You just saw Ty Nelson. They were drafted. Edward Chalet drafted as well. and have played here in the Valley. And then there's this guy, last year's first round pick, Berkeley Catton. He's going to arrive here in the Valley sooner rather than later as well. And the Kraken made a move today, as we stick with hockey, to continue to build the depth at their center position. They've acquired Frederick Gaudreau from the Minnesota Wild for this week's 4th-round draft pick. Gaudreau with 37 points last season, good for 18 goals, 19 assists. A real good second or third line center. He played in all 82 games, and you can expect the same in the Pacific Northwest later this season. And we know, because of our partnership with the Firebirds, we will have a chance to speak with new Kraken head coach Lane Lambert and general manager Jason Botterill at some point in the coming weeks on a project we're working on. It's all going to happen right here on NBC Palm Springs. We'll, of course, keep you updated. That'll do it in sports. I'm Tim O'Brien.
Brighter Side of the News is brought to you by Fiesta Kia. Discover the all-new Fiesta Kia located in the I-10 Auto Mall.
Green Bay held its annual Kids Day celebration on Wednesday. Things got a little extra fun right from the start with those two cute kiddos right there. The mayor kicked off the event by naming twin brothers Ivan and Riot as co-kid mayors after they won a contest. The twins even got to read the official proclamation during their swearing-in ceremony at City Council. For over 20 years, Kids Day has brought meals, games, plenty of special activities for the city's youngest residents. With the glasses, they kind of all got the theme. I think maybe we have some future city leaders there.
Right? I know.
I hereby declare the Packers will not win the Super Bowl.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what they
you
said.
had to make it personal.
All right, that's going to do it for us tonight. We're back here for the news at 11, so please join us for that. Meantime, we'll send things over to Fred Rogan tonight. He's got the latest with the Rogan Report. Hey, Fred.
Hey, Mark. The Rogan Report is presented by The Living Desert.
All right, so what happens if you're driving next to someone who had killed a friend in a car accident? What if that same person got into another accident? What if that same person then was given speeding tickets? You wouldn't know. And apparently neither would the DMV. They renewed this person's license. We're going to talk about it. Welcome to the Thursday show. Who do you want making decisions about your health insurance? Would you rather have a human who could be biased or fallible, or would you like AI to do the work? AI just looks at the facts and makes the appropriate decision. So who do you want to determine whether your insurance will cover a medical procedure, a human or a machine? Insurers are using AI algorithms to sift through tons of data, which can help create more personalized plans. This also raises some serious questions about fairness and transparency. When AI can make things more efficient, it might unintentionally reinforce biases or deny coverage based on inaccurate information. Our contributors on the program tonight are Katrina Dixon and Jim Walker. Jim, you're up first tonight. How can we make sure that AI health insurance is fair for everyone?
I think it's okay that they're using AI as an initial screening process, but if someone is denied, I think it should automatically be kicked back to a doctor or board of doctors to make this decision. I don't want a computer deciding if me or someone I love lives or dies. I mean, I think that there needs to be a human somewhere in that process.
Katrina?
Absolutely. I think using the AI is helpful in the sense that it can speed through things faster a lot than a human, but by the same token, it takes a human decision to create a good decision at the end of this. So I feel like at the end of the day, a human needs to be making the final say. It should be reviewed by a human at the end of its procedure.
You know what my concern
The thing is, I mean, we have to remember that AI is only as good as the information that goes into it. So if you have insurance companies that are inputting data for this algorithm, it's automatically going to come out on their side to deny more people. I mean, that doesn't seem fair.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. My concern here is this. You're saying, well, let's have somebody at the end that's a human being make a decision. But if the human being that makes the decision says, well, we've already run it through AI, and this is what it should be, I think they're biased or influenced by what AI would say before making a decision. Does that make sense, Katrina?
Fair, but wasn't there human bias happening before that anyway?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I don't have the solution. I really don't. But I do think...
Solution is a human needs to be in there somewhere.
Right. Do you think there should be regulations in place for how AI is used in healthcare?
I think we're way behind.
Not the end of.
All right. So
I was about to say, I think we're way behind with regulation in AI as a whole. I mean, it's like when the internet first started, you know, the law had yet to catch up with it and really still hasn't. And I think we're kind of on the same page with AI.
All right. AI, it's here to stay and it's growing. Last week, AI Coachella Valley took part in a one-day expo exploring AI and its impact on our lives. Sat Singh, co-founder and community manager of AI Coachella Valley, joins us now.
From the world of AI.
Sat, welcome to the program tonight.
Thanks, Fred. Good to be here.
All right. I love AI. I love it. We play with it all the time. It's here. And let's start with this. You really can't avoid it or run away from it, can you?
No, not at all.
How is it changing the way we operate on a daily basis?
Well, I think you said it yourself just now, Fred, right? You're seeing the changes in real time, how you're operating both on a personal level and on a professional level. And what I will say is this, is we still don't understand how impactfful AI will be to our daily living and really our entire Coachella Valley.
So my daughter has named hers Queen. My daughter has, and she always checks with Queen on everything. And at first I thought that was so odd. Then I realized, wait a minute, that's a far more efficient way to operate. But Sat, here's the thing. There are people that are afraid of AI. There are people that are trying to say they will never use AI. I'm of the opinion that, you know, you can say whatever you want, but eventually you're always going to use it, so you better learn how to use it.
I think you're right. I think you're right in terms of you better learn how to use this, right? Here's the thing. We didn't ask for AI to be a part of our life. The big technologists did, right? At the end of the day, there's the good and the bad of AI and many, many points in between. And we are so early in understanding how AI is going to affect anything and everything we do. And what we're seeing in our work out there in the Coachella Valley is what happens when you get beyond the novelty and the low-hanging fruit aspect of AI, and how do you actually incorporate this, adopt this in your small business, in your larger businesses, in your work life, and your personal life in a more intentional manner. And I think there are some not so good things about AI that we also need to discuss. And something that we've been working on at AICV is the Pledge of Responsible AI for Coachella Valley. And if you want, I'd be happy to share where people can find that pledge.
Please do.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's at aicoachellavalley.org. It's just a set of 12 principles that not just us, but worldwide, we should be somewhat doing our best to adhere to, and understanding that while AI is really powerful and it can help us write our emails and it can help us write our social posts, and in the newsroom, it helps you at least put your ideas down to something, more of a format really quickly, but then you keep the human in the loop to make sure you're editing and make sure there's cross-check for accuracy. But, truth be told, that's because you have integrity to do.
And that's so funny. We play with it all the time here, to be honest with you. We've been testing things. We actually have AI figures delivering statements and things. We play with it all the time, trying to figure out how to integrate it into what we do. We're learning as well. We put a couple things on the air, but identified them. But we don't want to be in a position where we're just going crazy with it when we really don't understand it. So I think it's fascinating. Every day we try to learn a little more about it. I think it is going to be part of our lives, whether we like it or not. Better to be educated. And I'll tell you, better to have these conversations. So I appreciate you coming on tonight. And let's do this again soon.
Sooner than later. Please, Fred. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you.
From the world of AI.
We actually had a long talk with Sat about the recent AI Expo in Palm Springs and the future. For our extended interview, go to the show page at NBCPalmSprings.com. Okay, here's something scary to think about. California courts have failed to notify the DMV about hundreds of vehicular manslaughter convictions over the past 5 years, allowing people convicted of deadly crashes to keep driving unlawfully. In a shocking example, a man convicted in May of 2023 for killing his friend wasn't reported by the LA Superior Court. Had his license renewed 2 months later, racked up more speeding tickets, got into another accident. Cal Matters identified 400 unreported cases between 2019 and 2024. Around a third of manslaughter convictions in LA and half in Santa Clara County were missing. Courts blamed a mix of paper-based systems, human errors, and tech glitches. Okay, Katrina, how would you feel knowing someone convicted of causing a fatal crash is still legally allowed to drive?
It's concerning, to be sure. Obviously you want to take into consideration that every individual happening has its own circumstances, and people can be convicted for things that maybe were somewhat out of their control, but not technically. But I mean, it seems like a lot of those are slipping through, and that's pretty concerning. It's not just 1 or 2 cases. It seems like this is a continuous thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I was going to say, I find this shocking. We were just talking about technology and AI. How in 2025 is a court not automatically telling the DMV immediately after a conviction that this has happened? So a dangerous person is not out there on the road. I think this is ridiculous. Why would you have a paper trail in 2025 when there should be an electronic trail, right?
Yeah. Do you think victims' families should be notified directly when convictions are finally reported, even months or years later, Jim?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The victim's family has a right to know that person is off the streets and not endangering someone else or hurting someone else like they hurt their family member.
Katrina, if courts in the DMV somehow improve their digital communication and training to prevent these errors, what else could help ensure safer roads? Ideas?
Well, I mean, certainly this is above my educational standard here, but for solving these things. But my first thought is that honestly, this is where AI might actually be helpful. AI is kind of all-seeing, and humans should be part of this. But if there's more AI actually sorting through all this, we might avoid these things happening in the future more.
All right. Always drive like your life depends on it, because that's how you be a good neighbor. Jim in Palm Springs needs to find a place in the valley that can play his old 3/4 UMAC cassettes. He's looking for a treasury on one of them. Ashlyn of Bermuda Dunes needs a good hairstylist. She needs a cut, nothing crazy, wants to keep it affordable. Nikki in Palm Desert looking for a ride from the Coachella Valley to San Luis Obispo this Saturday or Sunday. She'll pay for gas, by the way. Jill in Rancho Mirage wants to know if anyone has been to Frank's Hideout. If so, what do you think? Would you recommend it?
Hi guys, we're back with ideas for 4th of July. Yesterday we took you to Civic Center Park in Palm Desert. Today we're in Rancho Mirage. And this one's near and dear to us because we actually broadcast the fireworks show that happens later. But if you want to do some adulting earlier in the day, you could come here, enjoy the casino, do some gaming and gambling. When you're done having your fun in the casino, you hop in the car, grab the kiddos, and do the drive-in fireworks show. Of course, Digi needs his chair too. What's really cool about the fireworks display at the Agua Caliente Casino in Rancho Mirage is that they synchronize the fireworks to music, which makes you want to get up and dance or sing along. And if you can't get out here to enjoy the show, you can watch it live on our sister station, KPSE. So I think you get the drift of what this fireworks show is like in Rancho Mirage. Tomorrow, we'll take you to our next location. Come on, Digi, your chair. To see this story first, as well as more content, visit our website, NBCPalmSprings.com, or follow us on social media at NBC Palm Springs.
This show is for everyone, especially people that don't watch it.
Does that make sense? Please make sense of the show.
Find Fred on Facebook and Instagram at Fred Rogan, or email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
All right, so will a nap really fix it? Tired? We all get tired, but when that tired won't go away, maybe you're just burned out. Regular fatigue can usually be fixed with a good night's sleep or a break, but burnout is deeper, affecting your motivation, your emotional health, rewiring parts of your brain responsible for stress control. It's not just about overwork. It often comes from chronic stress, poor work-life balance, toxic environments, caregiving burdens, and being always on thanks to remote work. Certain folks like healthcare workers, perfectionists, remote caregivers, marginalized women, particularly vulnerable. Turning things around isn't quick. It takes months of regular breaks, social connection, and exercise, good sleep, and firm boundaries to rebuild resilience. Okay, you ever get burned out or you just get tired, Jim?
Well, I can tell you that probably a little bit like you, after 25 years of the daily grind of television news, I was a little burned out. So you need something new to energize you. And I found those things since leaving television news that have re-energized me. And I think that's what helps you avoid burnout, is constantly reinventing yourself and finding new things to be excited about.
Katrina, how about you?
I've definitely experienced burnout, largely because I actually was trying to do too many creative things all at once. And so I was constantly giving of myself to things that I wanted to do, but I ended up burning myself out. And I feel like a lot of people are told that every passion you have has to be an income stream. And so therefore you have to grind at it. And then you're left with nothing enjoyable. And how can you maintain any joy and happiness when the things you love are the things that are exhausting you?
You know, and I'll address this to both of you because you both kind of said the same thing, but you don't know you're getting burned out when you're doing it because creatively you believe you can handle it. And I don't know if you just sort of, and Jim, you know, you said 25 years into business. I've been doing this almost twice as long. I just wonder if one day in a creative environment, anybody watching, you too, you just hit the wall and that's it. You can't go anymore. That's
I
what
think people
burnout
do
would
that. I mean, especially some of these content creators that you see on Instagram or whatever that are pounding it out day after day after day. I mean, at some point you wonder, it's like, does that cease to become fun? I would think at some point it's no longer exciting.
But you know,
I would imagine.
But it's kind of an addiction, Katrina. You know, once you do it, you're addicted to it, and then you don't know how to stop doing it, right?
And we're addicted to watching too.
The worst anxiety I had in my life was because I'd been going like from dawn to dusk for like 6 months at one point, and then the pandemic happened. And suddenly I was stuck in my house and had nothing to do. And I was having anxiety I'd never had before in life because my brain didn't know how to shut off, didn't know how to not get up and be going constantly all day long. It took me a solid 2 years to kind of chill out from that.
All right. There are no real surprises when it comes to summer weather in the Coachella Valley, but perhaps Chloe in super weather can shake things up.
Well, Fred, let's look at the pattern for next week. Very warm to hot. Shocker.
First time I've ever seen a fire graphic like that to indicate it's hot. Once it's online forever.
Riddle me this. What has words but never speaks?
I know what it is. I'm not going to say it, Denise. By the way, Charles just emailed the show. You know, I checked during the breaks, and apparently there was a power outage in La Quinta in the area of Washington and Eisenhower. About 167 locations affected, according to IID. So if you're in that location, you have no idea that I just mentioned that because your power's out. So I've said this more than once, you have no privacy. People can record you in public without you knowing. People can search online and find out almost anything about you. What can you do about it, if anything? Our legal expert, Walter Clark, joins the show. Walter, as always, welcome to the show.
Delighted to be with you, Fred. Thank you.
All right, is data or online privacy even possible?
I believe it's possible theoretically, but it's so difficult. And unfortunately, we have to realize that we are providing data to businesses and governmental entities all the time. That data is a valuable commodity, which is being monetized and sold by brokers. So those brokers are able to charge somebody $2 to get information on Brett Rogan, and it's not a healthy situation. It's kind of a Wild West, but data is so valuable, and that's causing problems.
Yeah, I've always said, if you think you have privacy, you have none. Well, you know, I'm entitled to privacy, yeah, but you go outside, somebody can be taking your picture or recording you, you don't even know it. They can find anything out about you online. Is it safe to say, in today's world, people really don't have privacy?
Well, we know the laws try to provide us privacy. For instance, in California, our Constitution says we have an absolute right of privacy. Protecting that is another thing. Now, in California, our laws do try to protect us. Number one, the government may collect information from us to get a license or whatever it is, but that is only information that they absolutely must have for the purpose that they're collecting it. They can't just require you to give everything. Secondly, in California, data brokers must be registered, and disclosure to us is absolutely required. It's sometimes in the fine print, but when we have information that we can limit what we're revealing, we should take advantage of that. We don't have to tell them everything, and we can limit what is revealed to others. Now, unfortunately, in the federal arena, it's very different. We used to have, I think it's still there, but it's barely hanging on, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And that bureau was protecting those who were frequently victims of financial fraud. For instance, there was a rule that had just been instigated, which said that brokers have to give them permission to take and use your information. They eliminated that rule, and they're in the process now of dismantling that entity. I know people hate regulation, but this particular Financial Protection Bureau, getting rid of it is just going to be a gift to the payday lenders and the big banks that were taking advantage of people by changing their mortgage rate and forcing them to open accounts. I don't think it's a healthy thing. But yes, regulations, I think, may be helpful.
All right. Walter, as always, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate the info this week.
Delighted to be with you, Fred. Have a wonderful, good shot.
All right, your daily dose of cuteness when we return. AHC alarming video of the week, a doubleheader. Now watch her kick the ball. 1, 2. There's a doubleheader on the soccer field. In the AHC alarming video of the week.
The Rogan Report was presented by the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens.
It may be hot in the desert, but what you think may singe our ears, singe away. Find Fred on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Fred Rogan. You can also email thedesertdean@gmail.com.
Hey, what has words but never speaks? A book.
And I didn't give it away early. Appreciate you watching the program tonight. Don't forget you can email thedesertdean@gmail.com if you'd like to comment. Have a pleasant evening. Wheel of Fortune is next.